Howdy YouTube, my name's Ethanra, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. So there's some things I want to clear up in the last video, because I've already apologized for it, but I just cannot stress it enough, because I know how it will irk some people, because it irks me, admittedly, I'll go ahead and admit, and to avoid being a hypocrite, this is why I do things like this, but it kind of bothers me when people say the wrong things and then never go back and correct themselves. Not to the point where I hate them or unsubscribe or anything like that. Just like that's kind of annoying. So to not be that way, I try to come back to some of my videos and watch them to see what exactly I say. Because I'm usually, sometimes I do catch myself and then sometimes I don't. Like case in point, when I was saying Terra was too trustworthy and that's why he was fooled easily. That doesn't make any sense. Obviously what I meant was he was too trusting, but I was saying trusting and trustworthy at the same time. So it was messing me up. And another thing, crap, what was it? I'm already losing it. Oh, yes. Let me go and get this out too. When I was saying that, I'm not complaining, what I'm doing is, being a constructive critic, and then later I admit to complaining. That's because I had forgotten I had made, well, it might still be up unless I'm thinking of something else, but I'm pretty certain I made a video that discussed the difference between complaining and what I refer to as doing the other thing. And that's what I meant to say, but then when I realized that video is probably not up, I should go ahead and correct that. And while I'm doing this, might as well do this. Crap. You know what? Hold that thought. Let me go and show you this too, because I mentioned with Aqua. I mentioned something about Aqua. Let me see if I can remember. It was something to do with this metal, and I remembered it because it was in the last video. I was like, oh man, I need to go back and correct that. Okay, I think I remember what it was now. I think, because I don't know. That's why, when I'm wrong about some information, and you be like, how do you not know this, man? You seem to really love Kingdom Hearts. That's because every single theory or point I have, I made up just from the game. Because I played the game, or I've seen someone play it, or I read the reports. I very rarely go and wiki something from Kingdom Hearts because I like it better to try to figure it out for myself. But if I feel that whatever I'm reading about needs to be more clarified, then I'll go look it up. But for the most part, everything I come up with comes from me. So with that being said, it's kind of like a matter of pride, which is why I don't mind being wrong, because I will accept responsibility for being wrong. Like the Terra thing, because I know some say Xehanort did it, and then others say Terra did it, but I haven't looked up the wiki to say what the official cause was. So my best guess is me personally don't know. I honestly don't. I know everything following that was Xehanort, but before that, I don't know. Now moving on to Aqua. I was trying to remember the game she's in that explains what happened to her. The reason I don't know that is because I haven't seen anyone play it. I think Eternia did, but I don't know if I can find it. I'll have to ask her about that. She'll probably comment below about it, but I want to say either she did play it or she meant to play it. I'm not trying to put words in her mouth or say what she didn't do. I promise you, if she sees this, she'll correct me. But barring that, I have not seen what happens to Aqua in that game. And I think it's this right here. Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Aqua. Maybe that's her. Or I don't know. I don't know if that's the name of the game, but I believe it's this incarnation of Aqua that goes through that. So with that being said, sorry that I get a lot of information wrong, but like I said, I mostly get it from myself or from the games. I don't really look it up. And again, I cannot apologize enough for how, because again, I try to not be a hypocrite, but I feel really bad when I don't like when people say the wrong name because they clearly heard it from somewhere. Or like if I pronounce Easter, Aster, that would be kind of annoying, right? When clearly I would have heard how it was pronounced. That kind of thing kind of bothers me. And then they don't go back and correct themselves when you feel they probably should have. Or, they just leave it as is. I try not to be that way because it irks me. So why would I purposely do it to everyone else, So I try to make videos like this to be like, I'm sorry about this and this and this because I was wrong. Or I said etc. when I didn't mean to. Before I completely forget, back to the complaining. Yes, I complain, but the thing about the way I complain is I try to offer a solution. The other thing, as I call it, is a bit more vulgar. It's, let me try to think of a valid one. And I want to go ahead and say this. What I'm about to say now with my example, as per usual, I am not calling anyone out. So if you see someone who just happened to say, "Oh, look at that run," don't try to distract me with your cuteness. Anyway, man, stupid thing made me forget what I was saying, and then he has the nerve to do it again. He legit made me forget what he was doing with that little run. I cannot remember now. Okay, let me focus. About complaining. Okay, I remember now. Sorry. Wow, that just really threw me through a loop. So I was saying, what I'm about to say now, I swear I have not seen anyone else do it. So if what I'm about to say sounds similar to someone else, I am not talking about them. This is an example that's literally coming out of my head as I speak it. So the other thing I would describe would be being something like, how the F are they going to treat us like this compared to the Japanese version? I've been here since the MF beginning, and every D-Day, I get on, I grind for as long as I can, I get VIP, so they definitely get my money, and yet, and still, in the global version, they treat us like S. What kind of BS is this? I'm legit going to quit if they don't pick up the pace about what's going on in this game. Now, that was kind of a exotic example. That's not even a word, but apparently it is now. But like I said, that was just literally just coming out of my head as I talked. Trying to get a point across. Doing that is what I consider the other thing. Complaining, on the other hand, I will complain, but I will try to offer solutions, like about the Terra medals. I was like, why is our Solemn magic when it would make sense for it to be power? Like, even the pose itself is fine. That ultimately doesn't matter. It's just our Solemn being such a cool attack, you think they would give him a cooler pose. But for it to not be power is a complaint. It's not a complaint that deserves to be fixed, because it's no big deal. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It would make infinitely more sense if they wanted to give Terra a magic medal. It should be him using his actual magic attacks, like Meteor, which was a very powerful one, considering Terra is not magic oriented, yet it does as much damage as it does in Birth by Sleep. Or Meteor Crash. They could have Terra use Meteor Crash as a either magic medal or speed medal, but our Solemn itself should be power. There's no doubt about that. It should absolutely be power. That's a complaint. And then I'm giving solutions on how to quote unquote fix it. But like I said, they won't fix it because it's not a problem. It's just a matter of preference. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to do it the way they did. So that is a complaint, but it's not doing the other thing like I explained with the, that was the point I was trying to make there. So in the last video, when I said something to the effect that I'm not complaining, but I admit to complaining, that's what I meant. I meant to say I'm not doing the other thing, but I am complaining. So there's that. Like I said, I wanted to make this video to clarify some things because I hate leaving things hanging. It's even worse in past videos. Well, yeah, no, it's definitely worse in past videos. But what I was going to say was it's worse in the video. Well, maybe not worse. It's still fixed, I guess. Where when I'm talking about something and I'm losing it. I'm talking about something and crap, it's gone. Dang it, I don't remember now. Give me a second. I have to try to recall my memory. I was trying to think, and then I remembered seeing that little egg thing doing that run, that moonwalk even. So I forgot what I was saying now. It made me forget. It's like burned into my brain now. I'm going to need Skull's cuteness to help me forget it. I don't remember what I was saying, though. Oh, well. I guess I'll just repeat myself, because who doesn't love doing that? I do complain. I rarely admit I complain, but I don't complain for the sake of complaining. I usually try to complain to get a response. Like, that's kind of how you get results. Like, a lot of people think, and that's why I said there's a difference between doing the one thing and then actually complaining. When you're doing the one thing, you're essentially just venting. It's extremely vulgar, but you're just venting. Because think about it. Say, for example, a developer or a company or whatever you have a problem with, and you write them a letter that they will actually read, and all you do is call them B and a-holes the entire letter. Do you think they're going to listen to anything you say in that letter? Or if you write them more letters where you're actually more respectful because you've probably calmed down a bit, you think they're going to even bother opening it? That's not how you address situations like that. You should complain, absolutely, but not do the other thing. Because when you complain, you should complain about results. Like I said, with my metal thing, like our Solemn being magic, that's not something that deserves to be fixed. I'm just saying how, from a Kingdom Hearts perspective, it doesn't make sense. I'm not saying they need to fix it. Like, if they don't change, okay, here's a classic one, or not a classic one, but here's a even better example. If they don't MF and change our Solemn to power and give Terra the same pose he has in Birth by effing sleep, I'm gonna quit the game and I'm gonna sue them for making me feel, I don't know, insulted. You know, you see how crazy it got near the end of that, because that's usually how they sound when they're doing the other thing. Obviously, like I've said 100 times, it doesn't warrant a change because it's not like a problem with the game. It's just a matter of preference. Because like I said, from a Kingdom Hearts perspective, it makes no sense for our Solemn to be associated with magic. The only magic Terra should be related to is Quake and Meteor, which as far as I know is not in this game anyway. So there's that. Or how that one Terra Metal has like ice and lightning in it, which easily would fit Aqua better. But getting off track here. Yeah, so I just want to try to clarify that as much as I can. I will complain in the future, but I try to complain to get a result. Okay, I remember what I was saying now. Complaining to get results. That's what you should do. Like, again, same example. You have a problem with the with a company or whatever because something's going on with the game. Or bugs. That's a classic example. That's a legit classic example. Bugs in games. Bugs do not get fixed if you don't complain. If you don't draw someone's attention to it, if you don't complain about it, the bugs won't be fixed. And I know there is no game without bugs. There is no such thing as a perfect game. It's just that you most likely have not found a bug in it yet. But there is no such thing as a perfect game. Every game has bugs. But thanks to beta testers and alphas and all that kind of things, they're able to weed out the bugs to hopefully make the game more playable. First game that comes to my mind, Big Rigs Over the Road Racing, where you can go, oh man, I forgot the exact mathematical calculation, but according to your speedometer, I don't know if they fixed this by the way, this might have been like OG Over the Road Racing, but in that game, it was, according to your speedometer, it was possible to drive your vehicle in reverse, your big rig to go in reverse and be driving in reverse faster than the speed of light. Think about that. You have a big rig that if you throw it into reverse, you can go, I think it's like 100. I forgot the mathematical calculation, but it's like a number with 14. No. It's a number that had like 100 zeros at the end of it times the speed of light. That is one heck of a bug. Like, that's so funny that I can't even laugh. It's so funny it makes me not laugh. That's how funny that is. That is a bug. Or how in that game where the bridge doesn't have an actual, I might be using the wrong term here, collision or texture. No, I think texture is just looks. It doesn't have any collision. So when you drive on top of this particular bridge, you go under the bridge, like you phase through it like you're a ghost. You go under the bridge and then you come out the other side from the little dip underneath you. So those are actual bugs. Now, I don't know if anyone cares enough to complain about it, but you get my point. So imagine this game. I don't know if it was ever released in the form of beta, but I would assume at the very least the people who made the game would test it, and they would have to complain to get the bugs noticed to be fixed, so when it was released, it wouldn't be as buggy. That's the point I'm trying to make here with my complaints. You will hear me complain again. You hear me do it in the past if you watch my other videos. It's just I'm going to go on record to say when I complain, I don't complain just for the sake of complaining. I complain to try to get things fixed or noticed. And I believe this is the first time I got into round 15. I don't think I've ever been that high before. Really be cool if I had some more brooms, though, because I think I need 2 more to get another Mickey and B. But, yeah, I don't complain for the sake of complaining. I complain to try to get things noticed so they'll hopefully be fixed. But as I said, not all of my complaints need to be fixed. They're just a matter of preference, like Terra's are solemn. And the only complaints I can actually have at the moment would be, I know a lot of people are like, they're never going to do that. I feel they should. Like, if they do not want this game to die, and I honestly don't. I really love this game. I truly do. Like, I love Kingdom Hearts as a series, despite how bad I am at explaining it. I love this game. I love everything about it. But I would hate to see this game die, because I've played so many games that I've loved that make me feel almost like I'm the one that's causing it to happen, where I'm cursed. Every game I love, either I no longer can play it, or worse, it gets shut down. Resistance 2, service closed. White Knight Chronicles, North America, servers closed. I could probably think of some other examples if you give me enough time, but I don't want to linger on this topic for too long. I just, long story short, do not want to see this game that I love meet that same fate. With that being said, a complaint you can, and I would actually encourage you to do, with respect, now don't just talk to them any kind of way, is try to convince them to release Aqua as an EX, and I know, or as a guarantee. And I know 100 times. I know you all keep saying how it's never going to happen, it's not possible, etc. But I'm telling you, ultimately, if they want more money from us, that would actually make sense for them to do that, because it would encourage you to keep playing. So even though, like, say for example, if I was offering you a deal to get a bundle of whatever you want to imagine for $50 versus the exact same amount, like say for example in this bundle there's like, and again this is math, so if my calculations are off, that's why. Say for example you're bundling something of 30, and I'll sell it to you for, like, I probably already worded that wrong. Let me start over. I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to slow down. This is math, okay? So if you actually do my calculations, you'll be like, well, the amount of whatever does not equal. I know, it's random. But say, for example, I am selling you something like chibi, I don't know, chibi pets. Not the ones that grow plants out of them. Like, say, for example, Skull right here. I somehow am able to get my hands on a sewing machine, and I make some Skull plushies. And I'm selling like 30 of them to someone who wants 30 for some reason for, let's say, crap, I'm about to get real bad at this. Let's say I'm going to sell 30 of them at once to this person for $50. But if they want 30 of them, and considering, like, say, for example, I'll pay for shipping and handling and all that stuff, and they only want one at a time for, like, the next 30 days, then just buying one Skull would be like $3. Like I said, the math is going to be really bad. I'm just trying to make a point here about the difference between bundling and paying a lot of money at once versus spending little money over a period of time that eventually exceeds the original bundle. That's what I'm trying to say with the Kyrie EX thing. It would actually save them money if they make her a guarantee in 5 pools, and in order to prevent the game from being broken, only guarantee in that one time of the 5 pulls. So once you get her that one time of the 5 pulls, 5 more will not guarantee you another Kyrie, only the one. They need to do something like that, because by doing that, it will bring people back and or keep people playing. And over time, as they release more content, hopefully more difficult content to, you know, not make the game completely broken, people will be spending more money on VIP or jewel or gem deals or thrill deals, or, you know, the banners themselves. It would actually, well, I don't know. I say that, but I don't really know because it's math. But it just feels like to me, if they do what I suggested, that it would actually get them more money in the long run, because people will play longer and spend money sooner versus the poor souls out there that do like 41 pulls and get nothing and then quit and never come back. That's a customer you are never getting back. That's just more money you're going to lose immediately, so you don't have the chance to get more from them in the long run. I hope what I'm trying to say here makes sense, because I know I sound like an insane person sometimes, the way I forget what I'm saying, or I call something by the wrong name, or I leave out something important. So I really hope you understand the point I'm trying to make here. And again, even if they never do it, I'm just saying that would be a legit complaint to have. That would be an actual real complaint to have, is to get Kyrie a guarantee at least once in order to preserve this game so it does not completely die. Because if it stays the way it is, I don't think this game will completely die, but it's going to be infinitely less lively than it was pre-Kyrie EX. But again, it's math. I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to game developers, but I don't know. I guess I'm just complaining. I'm not doing the other thing, though. Like I mentioned, I'm not swearing like a sailor to try to get my point across, because to me, when you do that, I can understand something like if you drop a hammer on your toe, then yeah, that's one thing. But when it's something like this and all you're doing is swearing and cursing, I'm not going to hear you. Especially if it's at me. I'm definitely not going to hear what you got to say, because all I hear is you calling me names. I'm like, yep, all right, I'm looking at my watch, by the way, but okay, yeah, all right. Nice talking to you, man. See you later. You know, that's how it would be versus, hey, I need to talk to you about so-and-so. Do you think maybe next time this and this can happen because reasons? And be like, oh, okay, that's a really good point. I hear you, and I respect you for talking to me like a decent human being. You know, it's like that. And again, sorry, I'm not trying to knock on you guys who do swear a lot. I'm just trying to make a point here. If you want to get a point across, be respectful, be clear, and more importantly, make sure you have a reason for why you want something to be, you know, whatever you're trying to say. Don't just go in there, again, swearing like you ain't got no parents, like you have not been raised, to whoever you're complaining about. And again, I know that might offend some people because there are people who are orphans in the world. Again, I'm not trying to be mean here. Just bear with me and please listen to what I'm trying to say and not what I'm actually saying. Go in there respectfully. Talk to whoever it is you have a problem with respectfully. Make your points short, clear, and the reasons for why you're complaining about what you're complaining. Don't just go in there talking to them any kind of way and expect them to do something about it. Because I can guarantee you, if they don't completely kick your butt out to the curb, they'll just pretend to listen to you just so you'll shut up. And then immediately when you leave, they're going to be like, Secretary number 1, make sure so-and-so never steps foot in this building again. Be sure to tell security guard Fred to keep an eye out for etc. He looks like blah, blah, blah. Thank you. You know, something like that. Don't be that way. As best as you can, don't be that way. If you're like super angry about something, do what you need to do to get it out your system, provided not talking to them, obviously. And then once you've calmed down, then go to them and talk about it. I know this video's kind of got off like a really weird track here, but since I kind of got onto the topic of why I complain versus doing the other thing is because of that. So I hope I got my point across to you all, and I am really sorry about my examples because, again, I'm not trying to point out anyone. I'm not trying to make fun of anyone. I'm just trying to get my point across on being, you know, vulgar and complaining versus just respectfully complaining, giving constructive criticism even. But with that out of the way, I'm about to end this video. There was something about Terra I wanted to say. It was either Terra or Terra Xehanort, but oh man, I cannot remember it because I thought of it right before I left, and I was gone for like 2 or 3 hours, so I've completely forgotten now. Maybe if I watch my older videos, it'll refresh my memory. But yeah, so I'm about to end this video now before something happens, like somebody messages me out of the blue or something like that. But yeah, just again, sorry to repeat myself, but I just cannot stress enough. I'm not trying to talk about anyone. If anyone has done what I have done, and I assume they have, I'm not trying to say you're a bad person. I'm just saying if you want actual results for whatever you're complaining about, don't do that. Don't talk to that person like they're a dog. Don't talk to them like they're, you know, not a person or that you're their boss. Talk to them like a decent human being. Talk to them like, you know, you have some discipline, some self-control. And make sure the points you're making are valid. Like I said, I can complain till I'm blue in the face about Terra's metal not making any sense because our Solemn is magic. Or how come if Terra's going to have a magic metal, why is it not Meteor? I'll even set it for Meteor Crash, which is technically a physical attack. You know, things like that. But in addition to, even if those complaints are warranted, because it's like, well, you're right, it would make more sense. But at the same time, it doesn't really do anything to the game. So no, you know, that's one thing versus if you don't do something about Kyrie EX or make it super easy for global people to get jewels. I mean, like even more so than Japanese, probably. Japanese version, again, not trying to be that way, just bear with me here. If something needs to be done, okay? That's the point I'm trying to make here, because I'm not an expert in these things. I know some people are like, you don't know what you're talking about, man, because reasons. I know that. I'm not here to discuss that. I'm just trying to help you all out about if you're going to complain about it, do the complaining. I suggest don't do the other thing. Complain with a purpose, you know. Hashtag complain with purpose. Normally I'm not that kind of thing. That actually might sell me some money. I might actually make a shirt of that. Just get a white t-shirt and with a permanent marker in big old letters write complain with a purpose on the front of it. I might legit do that. But be that as it may, don't just talk to them any kind of way because it'll just cause more problems than, you know, bring about a solution. Unfortunately, I don't remember what I wanted to say. Let me just look over my medals one last time because it might dawn on me. I said what I wanted to say about Aqua. Of course, there's Ventus, but I didn't really want to say anything about him. I think I did that enough in that one video. I don't remember what I wanted to say. That's kind of unfortunate. Oh well. But yeah, hope I got my point across that no one got offended or triggered too much. And again, sorry if I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, because honestly, I don't. Like, I don't know how much effort it goes into making a game. I know it costs a lot more money to make any kind of game, even bad ones. I don't really know what's going on with Cena, or, you know, that EX medals do not come as guarantees. But I think if there's any medal that should, or any medal that should start doing that, it is absolutely Kyrie EX. But again, I'm just trying to help. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you around.